And we're live. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm just doing the Palo Santo. It's a funny morning. Keith says good morning to everybody. Gypsy's down here being a brat. So I'm just going to wait for people to line up and show up. I actually made it. I hope everybody's having a lovely day. It's such a beautiful Saturday. The weather out here in San Diego is actually very lovely. We're just kind of hanging out. Good morning, Pravina, or good evening, wherever you are. Absolutely. Just lighting some Palo Santo here. I started doing it before the show, but it's just, just getting a little extra kick, give some people some clarity. Good morning, Yvette, or good afternoon. Actually, yeah, what time? I'm 10 a.m. here, Pacific Standard Time. So good morning, you guys. Good afternoon, good evening. Hello, Miss Julie. So I really, again, of course, I don't have a topic, but it was amazing yesterday. I shared some time. Bless you, Gypsy Rose. I'm lighting Palo Santo. And she's, sneezing already. So, good morning, Carlos. Oh my gosh. Louise Smith. Hi, hon. Vicky, hello. Diana, good morning, my friend. Good morning, Carlos. It's such a good, I was just thinking about you. Hey, Kate, good morning, good evening, good wherever you guys are at. Awesome, good stuff. So, you know what? I really didn't have a topic today, but I'm so glad I already have like 15 people here. This is like good stuff. So, yesterday, let me just share this with you. Yesterday, I went to the Coven to go see my dear, dear friend. And I did a couple shows together. It was very lovely. I learned some new things, and she learned some new things. And it was super, super amazing because we both learned together. She's a high priestess, and I love going up there and just absorbing that knowledge that she has. Do you ever get by some people? You just get with some people, and all of a sudden or let me see. There's certain people around us sometimes that we just absorb their not their energy, but just their knowledge. It's so much easier with certain people that you're just able to bring that in, and you're able to retain it and use that knowledge for yourself, for different, whatever that message may be. Okay, true story. True story. I bought these cards at a store, or these oracle cards. And this is what we were talking about yesterday on on one of the shows, was that this one, I don't use cards. For those of you that watch, yeah, Debbie and I, thank you, Lena. For those of you that watch Debbie and I in our show, me and Debbie, or Debbie and I, on Mondays and Tuesdays, Debbie is phenomenal with the cards. Me, I just pretty much go by what Spirit tells me. I use my Nana as my spirit guide, my grandmother, right? Well, I bought these cards just because I absolutely love them. There was something, they were just sitting there on the shelf, and I just looked at them, and I'm like, Raven's Wand Oracle, whatever it is. The calling came, and I told Keith, I said, you know what, dude, I got to have these cards. So I bought them. I brought them home. I opened them up. I sat them down. They've been sitting in my cauldron ever since I bought them. Never used them. Never, I opened them maybe a couple times, really just kind of, and then I just set them down, and they've been in my cauldron ever since. Yesterday I went and I told Taryn that, I'm the high priestess. I told her that, and I said, I bought these cards. They're beautiful. I don't know why I had to have them, but there's a transmission of energy or knowledge coming from those cards, because they say you don't necessarily have to open up and deal the cards, right? You don't have to do those things. Or somebody was saying how sometimes this is me. I don't know if this is you, but I'll just get the book. Like, let me show you. I'll just get the book and I'll open it up to a certain page, and that's my message. Like, taste before judging, or taking to heart. Like, just you open up the book and I'm like, okay, give me a message. If I want, if I don't want to get into the whole spread of the cards, I just open up the book and I'm like, okay, tell me what I need to know. And you open it up and it's just like, look, like this one. Tell me what I need to know. It says spread your wings. There you go. So it's not always having to, go deep in, into the ritual of, pulling the cards and doing this and doing that and that kind of thing, right? So a lot of my guidance is from spirit. So anyways, long story short, I was sitting here and I was telling Keith about how my beautiful day was. I spent most of the day with her yesterday. And it was funny because I looked at the cards and I'm like, you know what? I should spend more time with you, and then the cards just like fell out of the cauldron and they fell out onto the floor. I didn't touch them. They just like fell out. So anyways, today I will make time for those cards that I had. So yeah, good stuff. See, so you know what? I mean, it will call you. It will come to you. It's amazing, amazing energy. So yeah, let's see who we have here. I love your reading and follow you with Debbie. You're awesome. Oh, thank you, Lena. You guys, you know what? Oh, Nana's like super. Nana's like kind of been roaming around lately. She's just kind of like been with me, not with me, kind of just, I mean, she's always with me, but she just kind of cruising around town doing her own thing. Super sweet. She's just like, she's just a freaking busybody, man. She's a super busybody. So let's see here. I kept on seeing double number and triple numbers today, especially 1111. Or I'm sorry, 111. Yeah. You know what? 111. This is the thing. 111 is you're on the right path. You're beginning to believe in yourself, trust in your journey. You're on the right path. You're being divinely guided. 111 is one of those, the more repeating the ones, the more, this is what happens. The more you see a number, like sometimes you see like 111, but then you see like 1111. The more that the numbers go out, the more consecutive they are. That is something that it intensifies that message. All the time, I see 1010. That's another one. Okay, let's start with this, okay? Every morning for the past, I don't know, like 2 months now, maybe like a month solid, probably. I've been waking up again at 3 a.m. because the energies are really high. The energies are really high right now. And there's some things going on. There's a lot of shifting happening. There's a lot of changing, which there has been all this time, right? But like lately, like the last month and stuff, to me, the sky looks different. I don't know if I discussed this with you guys before. I don't see very many stars at night like I used to. There's a shift that's happening where even the picture is very different. Like what I'm looking at is very different. Traffic to me doesn't seem like traffic anymore. It's different. It's very hard to explain. Yes, it's still there when I'm driving to work, but it's something where there's a shift in your reality of the way that you see things. Traffic is like, okay, you're driving down the street and where you would normally get, I don't know what you call, pissy, stitched up because you're just like, you're driving through traffic, and then by the time you get to where you need to be, you need to stitch yourself back together because you're in pieces from the drive. You're just like, holy shit, this is a horrible drive. People are crazy. They don't know how to drive. I'm not like fazed by that anymore. So a lot of those things that like the ego is beginning to fall away even more. But it's very weird because it's happening much quicker. It happened like overnight. Some of you I see are feeling this. Kate, you're going through a huge transition right now as well. Carlos, you're in there. Still, you're a little slower, but you're getting there. You're still pushing forward. You're like, I see you going like this, Carlos. You're like, and then you stop, and take off again, that kind of thing. There's going to be some times where you guys are feeling very tired. Like yesterday, I went to go see Taryn, the high priestess, and then I got lunch for me and Gypsy. I came home and then I was hanging out, and dude, I was out. I was crashed. I fell asleep. I don't even remember falling asleep. Your body is working so much energy, even when we're sleeping. I've noticed that the energy just keeps burning. And it's not because we're overthinking thoughts. It's not because we have so much coming out, like the old thoughts, like the old rehashing, if that makes sense, like the old trying to, the old worry, those kind of things. This is more like I'm shifting. My energy is being used properly, much more properly, but at the same time, I need to get my rest so I can continue moving forward in my journey. I hope that makes sense. The words become clearer. The understandings are not so, the miscommunications, like the words are coming out much more smoother. There's a lot happening. And a lot of you, I want you to understand that this is normal. Kate, absolutely. Holy shiitake mushroom. Absolutely. Yes. You know what, Kate? That is something that I was talking to my friend about it yesterday. And she was saying how all of a sudden the body aches started happening. And that's where, like, we're in certain body parts, we're holding on to certain things where it's like trying to flush itself. Does that make sense? It's trying to flush itself. But for whatever reason, we're still holding on to it. My back, this morning I woke up and my back was bumping. It has been. It always does, but it has been, like, sometimes it stops and sometimes not stops, but it's not as intense as before. But I totally can see that, Kate, because the release is happening and we're being stretched, like the DNA, it's all being stretched. It's very weird, but it's very wonderful because good stuff is coming. So with that being said, a lot of you guys are being, don't think that anything, I don't think that anything is like wrong with you. Don't think that anything is like, am I going crazy or am I whatever? Just go with the flow. Find your inner self, through meditation, just to be able to slow your world down a little bit in your mind. Yes, the I don't want to say chaos, but the world outside of yourself, it's going to continue to happen the way it's going to happen. But the way you respond to it is what's truly important. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, yes, I wish you would do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? Kate, I'm telling you, we have. Even Keith was just like. Sometimes you just feel so tired. Like I slept last night. I mean, even though I wake up every morning at 3 for a little bit, and I'm like, what? I am asking, there's nobody here. Last night when Keith and I were sleeping, or we lay down to go to sleep, and it was weird because I told him, I'm like, did you just touch my foot? Like I felt somebody like touch across my foot, like softly. I'm like, are you moving your feet? And he's like, no. And I'm all, it wasn't threatening. It wasn't anything, it was, whatever. And Gypsy was outside. So to me, there is no fear there. But I just thought, oh, okay, whatever. Good night. So we are becoming more sensitive. We are becoming more sensitive to, I've always been sensitive, but for those of you that are out there, trust in your journey, trust your intuition. That was a huge topic yesterday. Trust what your gut is telling you, understanding that those things in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man, they're meant to be there. They're meant to be there. That's a part of your journey. Now, whether you tolerate it and stand up for it or stand up to it, that's on you. Know your worth, and at the same time, understand that it's only briefly. It's not going to last forever. You know, here comes my grandmother. Glad to see she could show up, right? My grandmother's been out and she says she's been walking around and she says she's been looking around the world and she says, and it hurts my heart very much. She says the people that have no control over their emotions are looking to find a way to make sure everybody is listening to them, but they're doing it in the wrong way. She's speaking about certain situations that are going on, and I'm not going to go into that. But when we're causing harm to other people because we don't feel that we're being heard, we have to really look inside ourselves and understand how else can we approach a situation so we can be heard. You know, how else can we readjust, you know, our gears and be heard in a positive manner to where it is effective for ourselves, our families, and all of evolution. The spirit says that we've always been one, and whenever one aims at hurting another, we are only hurting ourselves. We no longer become a people of peace, we become a people of war. We become a people of a nation that no longer wants to serve one another, but only serve ourselves. The energy that comes behind and swoops up and misguides us. And we no longer know who we are. We don't know ourselves anymore. We don't know the feet that guide this body. Or we no longer understand the words that we speak, whether we say them softly or very loud. They no longer belong to us. They belong to someone who is misguided, uncontrollable, someone who no longer can stand in their truth because they no longer know their truth. Understanding who we are and how unique and how just loved we truly are, we must come back to ourselves. We must understand how important our life purpose is, our journey, how it completes us, and how it helps us to understand that we can be soft. We can give out unconditional love. We can fulfill our journey. We can do all those lovely things through love, through understanding, through a commitment to ourselves that I will love myself. I will give myself the love so that I'm able to permeate the world with all of that love as well. The understanding that we have about certain people and their misguided ways or whatever and there is no judgment here. But any person who can wake up in the morning and be cruel to an animal, any creature, a human being, a child, is definitely, I mean, there's no other words but completely misguided. A person who can wake up and put their head to sleep, you know, and not have any kind of emotion or sadness for what they've done, any remorse, that's not living. That's not what we're meant for. That's not who we are. And when we look at the energies around us from today, from yesterday, the day before, yeah, there's a lot of healing happening. For those that want to move forward, for those that want to create something different for their lives, it's a beautiful thing. Looking around, I see so many people that have come to their truth of that, yeah, I am wonderful, I am lovely, I am all those things. I am somebody who is able to speak my truth and not be unnerved by people that don't believe in it and that walk away from me. Sometimes when you speak your truth, it makes people shit nervous, man. It does. And they can't handle your authenticity. They can't handle your your pureness. So they leave. Allowing them to leave is the best thing for yourself and your family and all of evolution. It's not that they're going to leave for, maybe they leave for good, maybe they don't, but maybe that's just they need to take that lesson somewhere else. Maybe that's what they needed in their life to touch that one specific area in their world, and they're going to fight it. Their ego is going to tell them, no, 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 that's bullshit, whatever. And then they move this way. But then the message will come. Maybe they just weren't ready for that message. It's very unique in its way. It's a very different way of learning things. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's look and see what people are saying here. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. It just came, and I'm just the microphone. I'm just the microphone. I just send it. Wow. Oh yeah, good. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, I received my unexpected news that through work rolled off balance for about 2 weeks. Things are going good. Looking good. You know what? You know what, Tracy? Let me tell you something. Sometimes that we go through life and we're just kind of like doing the same thing over and over again. And let me just explain this to you. Sometimes we think that we're just like not doing anything. We're not. Sometimes we feel we're just like, oh God, nothing's changing. I'm trying. I'm doing these things. I'm making the changes in my life. I'm becoming much more different in my world. Friends are falling away. Trust me. Trust me. There is time for stagnation in your life at times because the stuff behind the scenes is working in your favor to make sure, because you're putting in the work. It's making damn sure that you on the back end, what's happening, it's lining up for you. I am a true believer in this because it's happened for me many times. As I look back on from today, if I look back, I don't know, maybe I've been with Debbie for about a year now, Keith. I'm not sure. I've been with Debbie for about a year now. Trust me. Yeah, I would not have a show. I would not be here with you beautiful people. If I would have kept myself small, if I would have just been like, what am I doing? I'd still be sitting here meditating day in and day out. Yeah, I'd be getting the knowledge. I'd be getting all that beautiful stuff. Absolutely. Because it's always worked. It's never, I don't want to say it's difficult, right, all the time, because it's not. Because it does become easier. It's kind of like you're walking and you're walking and you're walking. Your legs are tired. You're thirsty. You're hungry. And it's one of those things where you're just like, why am I walking? Why do I continue to walk? Why can't I just stop and get something to eat? So you stop and you get something to eat. You get something to drink. You hang out for a little bit, then you get up and you start walking again. Why am I walking again? Because you're moving forward. The miracles are happening as you're walking. Think of if you were to look back through all your walking, who did you meet along your path? Who did you share words with? Who gave you a beautiful smile? Complete stranger. Who did you give a smile to a complete stranger? The transition or what's happening is that you're growing because you're having experiences, but at the same time, you're touching the lives of other people by your kind words along your way. Maybe you did struggle on your walk and people came and they gave you those kind words. They gave you a shoulder to cry on, or they gave you anything, anything. Absolutely, Kate. Absolutely. Hello, Mohammed. Absolutely. And this is the thing, is that along your walk, yes, you get tired. Your feet, you may have to buy new shoes. You may have to stop and readjust your gears, but you're still moving forward. But along your path, you've changed. You've grown. You've met amazing people. Maybe you've met some shitty people too. Yes, yes, Tracy. In order for us to move past and get, the growth, the knowledge, the life experiences, we have to live life. We can't just stay shut up in our, closed up in a room and watch a YouTube video and think that that's life. That's not life. I love that guy, Matt Kahn. He's super cool. And he says, you know what? If it ain't happening in front of you, it ain't happening. And what he means, this is what I got from that message. Okay. If it's not happening in front of you, it ain't happening. How many times do you watch anything, the news, regardless, the news, a circumstance in front of you, you were there, you witnessed it with your own eyes, you heard every voice, what had happened, but yet when it gets played out by different people, everybody has a different version. Why? Because I saw it from straight on this angle. You may have seen it straight on from this angle. You might have, you know what I mean? How many times do you watch the news and you're looking at it and you're like, holy crap, that's not the way it happened. They only put in bits and pieces, little, you know what I mean? A little bit of this, tidbits of this, tidbits of that. Nobody watches the news anymore because, oh, fake news or whatever. I don't care. I don't watch TV at all. To me, it's a bunch of fooey stuff. Because if it ain't happening right in front of me, it ain't happening. I'm not the ostrich, with my head in the sand. No, I am not that, because my grandmother keeps me. If I want to know, all I got to do is ask, right? But at the same time, is it truth? If you can believe 110% everything that's happening, okay, say, there's a zombie at my window. There's a zombie at my window. Totally, it happened, whatever. If you didn't see it with your own eyes, would you believe it? I mean, I'm sure you would probably believe me, but I mean, that's like pretty far-fetched, right? A zombie at my window, like a creeper, peeping Tom. Okay, yeah, that's more believable, right? But anyways, if it doesn't happen in front of you, it didn't happen. Yeah, there's things around the world that happen, but so many people have so many different versions of this and that, right? It's like that story. What is that thing? What's that thing that they say? The little boy was pulling a red wagon. There's a row of 12 people, whatever, that stupid thing they did in school. The little boy has a red wagon. The next thing you know, you tell the next person. Then by the time you get to the end of it, the little boy had a little red wagon, a dog, a donkey, and a mule, or whatever. Everybody added their own version because people don't, unless you see it, it really happened. Whatever. So anyways, true story. Kate says hi, Keith. Yeah, Keith is home briefly. Keith says hi. Huh? Oh, Keith says he'll call you tonight, Kate. He's such a dork. He's all. Anyways, yeah, let's see here. But you know what? We worked through it though, dude. If we don't have those life experiences, well, how can I explain to you about something that I have no clue about? I can't sit here and tell you, you know what? Everybody has perfect relationships when I've had nothing but shitty relationships, or vice versa, whatever it may be, right? Can't give you life experience. Can't give you advice or any kind of knowledge on the fact that I've never experienced in myself, right? Yeah, I saw somebody do a. Kate said, "Really, Keith, it might cost you a bit," because she's like in the UK. Oh. He's like, "Oh, it's all right." Dude, this guy's a riot. I have no idea. I we're pretty funny together, but he's much funnier than I. So, anyways, yeah, the weather's been so dry out here in San Diego that my face is like dry. Yeah, he's funny. Mohammed, you're not seeing the signs. I guess we're doing readings now. Sorry. My beak is dry, if you can tell, because I wear a mask all day, right? The life of Carla Fishinghawk, I wear a mask all day, just like the rest of the world. So I have this line right here, bridge, from the mask. So this is what we're going to do. Excuse me. Yeah, see how rude that was? See? Coughed in my own room without covering my mouth. My domain. So this is what we're going to do. Mohammed. Okay, I'm going to just run through these. I'm going to run through these readings real quick, okay? My grandmother's getting prepared. She's laughing. I don't know why my grandmother's so happy today. Just kidding. I don't know what she's been doing. She's been running around. She's been following my sister. Ooh. And I know where my sister is this weekend, too. You know what, Kate? I just put witch hazel on my face last night. Yeah, I put witch hazel on my face. I don't know if you guys can see, like, I don't like to. I wear makeup because I go to work, whatever. But I only put foundation. I don't put on a lot of makeup. I rarely do. Now that I'm older, I just don't. I want to keep it all natural. But I used to go to the tanning booth for like 5 years, so I like fried my skin, right? And but anyways, I have like sunspots here on my face, so I have to, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not all psycho like that. But anyways, yeah. So I've been using witch hazel. Because I normally use rose wipes on my face to take off my makeup. But anyways, she knows that you love her, Carlos. She's so sweet. My grandmother says that she's happy to help you with your credit score. She says that there's going to be a big shift on that too. She's like, just don't overspend on your credit card. She says, why? She's like, don't overspend. Just be safe with it for right now, because the numbers are going to shift, like a big shift. Mine are like holding, so that's a good thing. Okay, so Mohammed, I want you to understand that your grief has gripped you into not being able to see. I want you to close your eyes for me, Mohammed. Close your eyes. Are you still with me? Just type yes if you are. If not, you can rewatch this again. Mohammed, I just want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Okay, Diana, if you're with me as well, I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Mohammed, there's a tree that's by your place where you live. Or I see either it's someplace where you're always going to, and there's something about that tree. When you're standing by that tree, the leaves are always falling because there's a great sadness in your heart. So the leaves, they're trying to show you with the leaves that they're surrounding you. It's almost like a hug. There's going to be a tree. If there isn't, I see you standing by this tree. It's a big tree. I mean, not ginormous, but it's big enough to where the leaves, the wind will pick up. It's in the wind, your messages. Understanding that when you're alone and your sadness begins to overwhelm you, look around, stop. As hard as it is, stop and look around you. You're receiving messages through the trees. When the leaves fall, That's the blessing, that you're not alone. It's like I see you, you're like this, you're like this, you're like this, and then you're like this again. Because you're trying so hard to get the message that you're actually missing it. It's not even phasing you. It's not even. So clear your mind. Do not become entangled by that moment. Find your way back. I hear a not a giggle, but I hear a very soft laugh of a lady she's just like very sweet. She's not saying anything. She's just giggling. And I want you to understand, you are getting the messages. You're missing them. You're just overthinking it. Excuse me. That's exactly what it is. You're just overthinking it. You will find leaves. You're missing the feathers. She says, you're missing the feathers. He keeps overstepping the feathers. Stop looking at your phone so much. The next time you go outside, look on the ground and you're going to find a leaf. If you find a feather, you find a feather. I bless you and I leave you with that. Trees. The trees. You're going to stand under a tree and all of a sudden all the leaves are just going to fall on you. That is your message. Diana. Similar characters. My English. All of a sudden you're going to start seeing like, not graffiti, but like cartoonish, funny things like messages on walls, those kind of things. Those messages of just funny stuff. You're driving down the street and all of a sudden you see like, not a billboard, but a sign, anything it may be. You're like, aha, there's messages in there. Celebrate those messages. Celebrate if you cry, cry. But remember to smile, to laugh, to love, to, that he's still speaking to you and he's guiding you. And he's trying to help you with your grief, but at the same time, he says, it's time to live. It's time to find that old you, that happiness, that flirtiness, I think there's other things going on there, Bear, but the thing is that doing the work from within is something to where it's going to open your eyes. You'll be able to see much clearer. You'll be able to acknowledge the things that need acknowledging, the things that are going to set you free, as well as come to an understanding of why this had to be. This moment right here and now is all that we have. Living in the now is the hardest thing for certain people because we like to hold on to certain memories, certain things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we can't live there when we're here. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Letting go is hard. But continuing to focus on what could have been, what should have been, how unfair, how certain things have just happened. We have to accept the lesson and we have to move forward with it. Not saying that your brother's passing was a lesson for anybody that had to be taught or anything, but that's just life, he says. In another world, in another time, you two will meet again and you'll know. Absolutely, you'll know by his face. He won't look exactly the same, but there will be that something so familiar about him. The same scent at times. He says he sends in the wind. There are certain things about him that somebody may say something, a sentence or a word, or saying something so similar to what he might have said. That's all him. He's a jokester. He likes to he likes to twist it up a little bit. Trust me, he's there. And he's happy. He realizes that sometimes we just, we can't do it all, he says. We can't do it all in one lifetime. We have to do more in other lifetimes or on this side before we move on to the next. I hope that's helped you, Bear. I love you. I bless you and I leave you with that. What else is happening here? Let's see here. Who else is here? Who else is here? What else is going on here, people? Oh, I didn't see that. Your credit score went up 9 points, Carlos. Hell yeah, that's some good stuff, brother. That's some good stuff. I love that. That is like so cool. Mine has like just been cruising. Absolutely wonderful. Was there anything else anyone wanted? Man, I'm like doing good stuff here, man. I'm feeling good. I'm so glad you guys showed up. I'm like absolutely love all you guys. You guys are like the bee's knees. That bee's knees. So, okay. Good stuff here. Well, you know what? Hey, just like I always forget to say, don't forget to share, subscribe, like, whatever those things are. Bless you, Gypsy Rose. Any message from your dad about Pravina? There's, it's the same thing, Pravina. There's like really no message. They're just kind of hanging out. They're waiting. They're just, sometimes this is the thing, Pravina. Sometimes spirits just stand by. There's necessarily not really a message. They're just there. They hang out. They just come in and out. Just like I said, like my grandmother, she's always here, right? But sometimes she cruises around. She goes and sees what other people are doing. She hangs out, but then she works mainly, she comes to my sister in her dreams, but most of the time, of course, she's my spirit guide. So she helps me do, what I do. But at the same time, our grandparents, our loved ones that have passed on, whoever they may be, they stand by our side. They come in and they check on us. They help to guide us. And you guys, this is important. Trust your intuition. Believe that when you're getting a message, this is a message. Right? You get this feeling of what I'm getting for you, Pravina, is that you get this sensation of wholeheartedness. But you get uneasy because you're like, wait, what is that? You get this, I'm seeing that when you're feeling a little bit sad, or when you're feeling, like you want answers, or you want, you're just feeling sadness. You're feeling like, not, when you're feeling the loss, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm trying to find the words here. All of a sudden you feel, it's almost like a wind, a little gust of wind that comes, and it's like a reassurance. It's like a hug. It's like a spiritual hug. That's all I can say. That's them. That's your family. That's your ancestors coming to you and saying, you're not alone. You're never alone. In your darkest moments, in your greatest sadness, you're never alone. Ask them to come to you and And you may not be able to hear them, but you may be able to feel them, or sense them, I should say. Sense that softness. You get that feeling as if you were when you were a child and they were still here, or whatever it may be. Trust in that feeling. Know that they're there. Okay? I bless you and I leave you with that. Hello, Anne. Lena, I see some confusion a little bit here and there, but that's normal because things are opening up. With everything going on in the world, what do I do now? Where do I go now? Good things are coming for those that are willing to do the inner work and the inner understanding of how wonderful you are. Of course, good things are always coming. Good things are always coming. But do you look at things as blessings? Or do you look at things like, oh, just this other thing happened, or just gonna, I don't know. It's like, how do you take your inventory about when things happen? Show gratitude for everything that comes your way, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm grateful for this lesson. It's going to help to teach me for my future. Yes, sometimes we have to learn the hard lessons in life. We have to learn to come back to ourselves and trust our intuition again. And this is what this is all about. Coming back to ourselves and reigniting our intuition and our willingness to listen to our, intuition or ego. Wants and needs are two different things. This is what we were discussing yesterday too. To ignite the trust in ourselves again. Standing very strongly in our truth. Yes, I remember reading what you said. In order for you to, and I'm so very sorry for your loss. I'm absolutely, I am a mother. I could not ever possibly imagine living my life without any of my children or my grandchildren. That is a horrible, horrible situation, and I am so deeply sorry for your loss. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances of. Let me just go back. I'm so sorry. What was that? I'm sorry. I do apologize. So your son is someone who had great loneliness. There is nothing, I don't believe, that you could have done to help him get past that. The best thing I can tell you, and I hate, this whole, but I mean, I recommend that you get some form of counseling. Something to where you're able, the grief will, some people say, oh, within time, time heals all wounds, that kind of thing. I don't stand by that. I don't promote that. Everybody heals, everybody, we're all different. We are also different creatures, but we are all one. And when I look into your energy, I see that there is just so many unanswered questions, so many different things that are happening in your mind, that you need to have somebody that is obviously much more equipped than I am to help you take inventory of those thoughts and to help you so that you're able to look at each and every one of them. Not to sit there and wallow in them and analyze them and, just sit there, but just to help you with coping mechanisms and ways of coming to understanding with certain issues. There is a young man that I do see, and he's still crying. I do see a young man, and he's still kind of in his state. He says that he wants you to get the help that you need. He never meant for this to affect you, so he didn't realize how it would affect you. So he says that he wishes that he could have a do-over, but it's impossible. He says, I know, I get it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But he worries. He didn't know it would affect you in this way. This is not what he meant. This is not what he meant. He didn't realize. So the best advice I can give to you is get the counseling that you need. Be able to see things at a different angle, and see things with somebody who has that kind of guidance, that's able to help you, a counselor, a grief counselor, that kind of thing. Check in your area and see, definitely somebody you can speak with and somebody who can help you. That's the best advice I can give to you. Okay. Again, we are all so sorry for your loss, Lena. I bless you and I leave you with that. So it looks like my time here is up, you guys. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I send you all so much love and so much healing energy and all of those lovely things to help to push you forward in abundance, in prosperity, in health, in knowledge, in unconditional love for yourself, myself, our families, and all of evolution. Amen. So you guys have a lovely rest of your day. I'm going to prepare myself, for maybe another cup of coffee, get some rest, and then off to work. All right. I love you guys. Have a lovely day. Have a beautiful weekend. Go get some rest for those of you night birds up watching this very late. Have a good night. Bye-bye.